So this is going to be my last video for the night. This is my daughter Olivia, the baby, who's going to be 9 years old in a few months. She wanted to be in on the video today. So what do you have to say to everybody?
Hi.
And do you have your own channel?
Almost.
What?
We're gonna think of the name.
Okay. What name are you going to put for it?
I have no idea.
Can you think of one? Because then we can tell people to go watch it.
Maybe Olive Crave Olivia?
Olive Crave Olivia?
No. Olivia Craves Olive.
Olivia Craves. Okay, so we'll put the link down below so you can go see her channel that she's gonna start doing on her own. So anyway, this video is going to be, I said in all the previous videos that I was going to make this one today, talking about how long should the baby feed at the breast, what would be considered a full feeding, I should say, and then also, do I need to change breasts, and for how long? So do I feed on one side, and then for how long do I feed on that one side to switch to the other side? It used to be the rule 15 minutes on one side and 15 minutes on the other, and that was just made because it was actually made for mom to help her feel more comfortable, because equal amounts taken out of each breast. It doesn't actually have to be, the baby does not have to feed on both breasts, and you don't have to time the feeding. It's better to let the baby breastfeed for as long as they want on one breast. This can be 10, 15, 20 minutes. A newborn, it can be a little bit longer, and typically it is longer. You kind of want to look for a good rule of thumb is 15 minutes. It doesn't mean it has to be 15 minutes all the time, and it doesn't mean that you have to stop them at 15 minutes and then pull them off. It just means let them breastfeed for as long as they want. And keep them on the one breast until they're finished, until they stop, which means typically for a baby, they fall asleep and they take the nipple out of their mouth, they move from it, or they just stop sucking and they kind of fall asleep. This is the point where you would want to possibly burp them, and you can offer that same breast. If they do not take it, you can offer the second breast. If they seem satisfied and don't really want to breastfeed on that side, that's fine as well. They can get that full feeding on one breast. If you switch to the other side and they feed for a few minutes or so, again, you'd still want to start at that breast the next feeding. So if you put the baby on the right breast and the baby feeds just on the right breast, you would then make sure that the baby feeds on the left at the next feeding. If the baby breastfeeds on the right and then breastfeeds on the left, you still would want to start with the left breast, because most likely they're going to take less from that breast since it was the second one offered. So you do not want to time the baby as far as like, okay, 10 minutes, now it's time to move to the other side. Let the baby feed for as long as they want. When they let go, then you can burp and re-offer, and then move them to the other side if need be. But if they do not want the other side, that is fine. Breastfeed as much as you can in the beginning with the newborn. As they get older, they can become very efficient about emptying the breast. They can empty the breast sometimes in 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. Some babies just prefer to just suck on the breast to put themselves to sleep, so they may stay on a breast longer, even when they're older. And also, as they get older, you don't want to be thinking, okay, well, my baby's always fed for 20 minutes and they have to continue to feed for 20 minutes. Or maybe they were really good and fed for 10 minutes, and then they go to 15 minutes as they get older. So don't worry about the clock. We always use the phrase, watch the baby, not the clock, because the baby knows what they need and they know when they want it. Or when they need it. Now, that is to say an older baby, and I would say about 3 months old and higher, they're getting pretty good at breastfeeding, so you can pretty much trust that they are going to feed when they're ready. Now, if it's a sick baby, if it's a a preemie, one who was born, very early. If it's a baby who's always struggled with breastfeeding, that is not gaining weight properly, and so forth, then you want to look at the possibility of timing the feeds and making sure the baby's getting enough out of the feeds. But unless there's a reason to do so, unless there's a problem with breastfeeding, and when I say that, I mean a lactation consultant says there's a problem, the doctor's saying there's a problem, you really don't have to worry about switching sides or timing them. I just want to bring up and make a comment about choosing your pediatrician, because it's important to make sure that you choose a pediatrician that supports breastfeeding, because if they don't, then they're not going to support you while you're breastfeeding, and you're going to need a doctor who understands the differences between a breastfed baby and a formula fed baby. So a breastfed baby will gain weight differently than a formula fed, and they also have a completely different chart that they are to be monitored on. World Health Organization, or WHO, which is WHO, they have two separate forms for formula and for breastfed babies, so that the doctors are sure to use the proper one and not to gauge a breastfed baby by a formula fed baby. The way they gain weight will be completely different. I think that's pretty much it as far as switching breasts and timing the baby. Little tips to kind of remember which breast you fed on last, or which breast you want to put the baby on next, is a bracelet. You can move the bracelet from the right side to the left when you know that you have to start at the left, or maybe you want to keep it on. Okay, I have it on my right wrist because that's where I fed the baby last. So then you want to keep it on the right, so you know the left. So that's a tip. Some people will put like a pin on their shirt. Just different things to kind of like remind you which side the baby fed on last, or that you need to feed on next. I really think that's it. If there's any question that you have that I did not cover, feel free to comment below or to email me to let me know what those questions are. If there is a specific topic or question that you have that I have not covered in my breastfeeding videos, feel free to, what are you doing?
Comment down below.
Yeah, feel free to comment down below and let me know, and Olivia and myself will answer your question. And if you would like Olivia in the videos, you can comment and say, put Olivia in the video.
No,
Put a like. Put a like? Okay, she wants a like.
And push the red button.
Push the red button. As you can see, she knows all about YouTube and the subscribing. Who do you follow? Bertaley. Anybody else? Anybody else you like?
Evan Bra.
And who else? Don't you like Miranda?
Yeah, Miranda sings.
And who does Mommy like?
Candid Mommy.
Candid Mommy. Anybody else?
I don't know.
Yeah, I pretty much just watch Candid Mommy. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And again, if you have any questions, please leave them below. And as my daughter said, subscribe. And I'm not really sure at this point which video I am going to do next. I'm just going to think about the things that I, worried about, and the questions that I Googled in the middle of the night, and then kind of base it on that. But every one of us is different, so, make sure to comment if you have a suggestion or you have a question, and I will do a video on the questions, or I'll do a video specifically on that topic. Like, I just did the video with 3 parts. I probably should just split them in 2, but I'll just see how they go for now, and then if I feel I need to, I will do so. So that's it. You guys all have a great night, a great day, a great weekend, whatever it is for you.
Bye.
Bye.